welcome to CJ Fit. It's my first video, so I'm really stoked. Want to talk about nutrition today. I got a request from Joyce, and I wanted to put out this video. But as I said in my post, it's not going to be what you think it is. It's not going to be how to do your carbs and how to do your proteins and what you should do and all that. I mean, that information's available and we can definitely go through it, but one of the reasons I want to discuss this video, one of the reasons I want to put this video out here is because the real reason people wind up asking me about nutrition and saying, what can I do to change my nutrition up, is because the nutrition's not bringing them where they want to go, okay? They want to build muscle, they want to get leaner, they want to get thinner, they want to lose weight, they want to gain weight, they want to put on muscle but they don't want to put on fat. With all the different reasons that there are for people to do this, and the problem is unless you have the most important reason in place, no matter what you do, no matter what technology you use, no matter who you listen to as far as who's the nutritional expert du jour, what you're going to find out is you're going to have intermittent success. In other words, you're going to commit and you're going to fall off, and you're going to commit again, you're going to fall off. And the reason that happens is you don't have a big enough why. If you don't start with a big enough why, everything else you do past that is going to be wobbly. It's not going to be firm. And the reason is once you answer the question why, that's going to determine your level of commitment. You can make promises. You know, I read somewhere where the guy says that the person that goes in and goes to McDonald's is telling everybody at McDonald's about the fact that his doctor said he's going to die of a heart attack if he keeps up the way he is. You know, that's really the more typical approach. Is like, we'd rather go in and complain about something than actually face it and say why. You know, and someone telling you why, having something coming up why, is you have to determine how important that is to you. It doesn't, you know, like I said, you know, how many smokers do you know that have been told they have to quit smoking and they're like, no, I'm not going to quit smoking, you know. So it's not a big enough why to them, even though the doctor said you may die. So what I'm telling you is you have to have the why in place first. You have to know the reason why you want to change your diet. You want to know the reason why you want to take your diet to that next level. And while we're talking about that, you know, let's move on beyond the why and get into a little bit of the diet, which is this. The next level is going to be determined by the answer to your why. In other words, if you say why, because I just engaged in a competition and in 2 months' time I need to be on stage. Okay, well that's a big commitment. That's a big why. And if you're really on board with that and you're really not on board with looking like a dope in front of a lot of people, then you're going to really buckle down, okay? So once you do that, then you can see how extreme do you have to go with your diet? How quick do you want to make the results happen? As you know, I'm a big fan of long-term, okay? Everybody that's trained with me, that knows me, knows that I'm a big fan of long-term. I'm not a fan of the quick fixes, but okay, within long-term and within the normal cycles of gaining weight, losing weight, seasonal gains and stuff like that, there is a time when you might say, okay, for the next, like, whatever, 8 weeks, 12 weeks, 10 weeks, 6 weeks, that I'm going to dial it in because I really want to make those last-minute changes to my body. Okay, so that's the real reason, and once you get that why, and then once you know what you got to do, you will see clear where you want to be with it, because always it's going to be in the context of your long-term plan. Okay, your long-term plan. How I'm gonna eat, what I'm gonna eat, why I'm eating it. Okay, to feel good, to be stronger. Okay. Even sometimes to build your character. You know, we all want comfort. We all find comfort in a lot of different ways. I mean, a couple of drinks on a Friday, you know, a cheeseburger on a Sunday, cake or cookies, whatever your jam is, then that's the thing that you find comfort. And we all have to come to a point, if we want something, where something else is going to have to be let go of. All right, and that's what I'm talking about today. I'm talking about the why. You get that why in place. You know, look at why you want to lose weight. Look at why you want to gain muscle. Look at why you want to do what you're doing. If you don't know why, you're setting yourself up. It's not that you won't succeed. I'm not a big believer in this black, white, this edges thinking. There's a lot of middle ground. I've seen a lot of people do a lot of things wrong and still succeed. So I'm not one that says you have to be right with the universe before you're going to reach your goals. But what I am saying is that if you don't have a big enough why, the odds are that your success is going to be very intermittent. Gain, lose, you know, the whole thing. You'll wind up in the ballpark maybe, but it's going to be very intermittent, okay? So you have to decide why you're doing what you're doing, and then you can decide what you're going to do with it. The why comes first, the answer to why comes first, and then the what comes second. And there's so much information out there. I mean, right off the top of my head, as I've told so many of my clients, get Eating for Life by Bill Phillips. Okay? It's a cookbook. It has recipes in it. And it's a book that tells you why you're eating what you're eating, what you should eat, when you should eat it. Okay? Does some of this stuff, do I not buy into the whole thing? No, I don't buy into the whole thing. I'm actually at the point right now, I'm redoing my nutrition, because I've been following a very intermittent course over the past few months, and I've gotten stronger, which was one of the goals, but I've not gotten leaner, okay? And I've been doing a lot of research, and a lot of research points to backing off of shakes and doing more whole foods meals. So for me, I know, because I know myself, that that's going to mean a little bit more bland eating, because if I start giving myself whole food meals that taste good, I'm just going to wind up overeating them. That's what I do. So so you're going to have to, again, it goes back to, you're going to have to figure it out, but it's a great place to start. It taught me a lot about eating, about portion controls, about what do I need to eat. And sometimes, just to wrap this up, and I'm going to wrap this up, I don't want to be too long with you, sometimes blander is better simply because you won't eat too much of it. Okay, you know, we talk about, well, I don't want to eat that boring crap all the rest of my life. No, you don't want to eat that boring crap the rest of your life. But first of all, that boring crap is going to take you where you want to go. And second of all, if you make a great meal that tastes flat out awesome, you're going to probably overeat it. So, you know, just some things to really think about. You know, I am a big believer, as I've said many times, and this is also addressed in Eating for Life as well as Body for Life and a half a dozen other books by a half a dozen other authors. I'm a big believer in the 6 day on, 1 day off eating method, okay? Give yourself those 6 clean days. Work as hard as you can to keep them perfect. And perfect is determined by you. Again, determined by you based on your goals, based on your why. Okay, but you will know what perfect is. It's the amount of calories you're supposed to have. It's the amount of protein. It's the amount of carbs. It's the amount of fat. When you're eating as close to perfect as possible for 6 days in a row, your body is going to start changing. End of story here is it may not start changing for a while. Your body has reached a set point, and sometimes it takes a little bit longer for you to pull yourself out of that set point. Some people it doesn't. You know, remember something, if nothing else, remember this. Nobody has the answer for everybody. Anybody that can tell you, because this person did it, you can, is lying to you. Because everybody has, we're all made up of the same stuff, but we're all made of different ingredients, of this, different amounts of the same stuff. And those different amounts, that's why some people can drink on a Friday, get up on a Saturday and go whatever, and other people are sick all day. And that's why some people can eat asparagus and other people can't. That's why allergies exist. We all have different versions of the same thing. Different lengths of muscle attachment, where the attachment is. That's why people are stronger. That's why people gain muscle quicker. That's why people get leaner quicker. We are all different, even though we are all the same. So you're going to have to find out what works for you. And that's why I didn't come up here and say, and do this, and do this, and do this. Sorry, Joyce. You're going to have to find out. You're going to have to go, you have to do your own research, and you're going to have to use yourself as the experiment. You find the broad goal, and then just go in and say, okay, I'm going to do this. And then after a couple of weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, check it out. Anything different? And do I feel better? Do I feel like it's working, even though maybe the scale doesn't say it is? Stay with it. If you feel like this is pointless, it's not doing anything, you have to make adjustments. You're going to have to be flexible. You're going to have to monitor your approach and make sure you're doing. Make sure you're taking yourself in the direction you want to go in. Okay. So, to wrap it up, don't forget, get your why down. Look at the reasons why you want to do what you want to do with your nutrition. Okay. Once you get your why down, come up with a plan that's going to be as simple as you can make it and as straightforward as you can make it. And then once you have that plan, execute it to the best of your ability. Okay, 6 days on, 1 day off. Don't go too crazy on your free days. Although if you really do eat clean 6 days on your free day, you're most likely, even if you do go off the grid, you're gonna feel so bad that after a point your free day is gonna become just another kind of, I may have a little extra here. All right. But give yourself those free days, especially in the beginning, because the cravings, especially if you're cleaning up your diet for the first time, the cravings are going to be very intense. You're going to really want those things, okay? You can hold off of anything for 6 days. If you could tell yourself, I want to eat 5 pizzas, on Sunday, then good. Wait till Sunday. I'm going to have a box of Girl Scout, then have it, but have it on Sunday. Stay with it for 6 days. And I'm going along this trip with you. I posted 2 months ago that I was on board with this routine, and like everybody, I'm going through the challenges of it. Sometimes my nutrition's working, sometimes it's not. Sometimes I'm stress eating, sometimes I'm not. Recently, this past week, my back was bothersome, so I didn't get all my workouts in. This is what you're going to have to face no matter what you're doing. All right? And everybody goes through it. And those who succeed, really just put it out there and keep up consistently no matter what. They just keep going. If they fall off, they're right back on. And that's what it's going to take. Okay? So, welcome aboard. Welcome to CJ Fit. Thanks for coming by. My first vid. Like I said, I'm pretty stoked. I had to come up with a tagline. This is good. But I had to come up with a tagline. And I used to do this other blog with this other thing that was going on a long time ago. And I always used to say the same thing. I'll say it to you right now. Stay focused, stay strong, and train like there's no tomorrow.